Now, sometimes I get people phoning me saying that they are struggling to view certain things on the website, or something might not be working correctly on the website. But often it's not the actual website, but instead it is your browser. There are different browsers that you can use, and I would recommend that you're actually using Chrome, which belongs to Google. The nice thing about Chrome is you can log in as a user with your Google account, and then you can save passwords, etc. on the browser itself. I'll show you in a moment how that works. Different browsers such as Edge and Safari and Firefox can also be used. Just bear in mind that all these different browsers needs to update with what search engines such as Google requires, and how websites render on these different browsers. So we also have to keep updated with the different browsers to make sure that everything works. In the past few weeks, and this was over November, we've had quite a few complaints from people with Apple devices and mobile devices using a browser called Safari, and that was Safari itself and not the website. So Safari did fix the problem. It seems like everything's working and rendering correctly on Safari again. Right, back to Chrome. Once you logged into your Google account with Chrome, like you can see at the top here, I can actually save certain pages, which will actually be there all the time, and it gives me shortcuts and log me into whatever I want. So if you do experience problems with any website, you can just go right to the top. There are three little dots there. Click on that to clear your browsing history. You should do this at least once a month. You can click on or just hover over more tools, and then it gives you the option to clear your browsing data, or you can just simply click on settings. If you go into settings, on the left hand side you'll see this privacy and security. So let's go to privacy and security, and here you can clear your browsing data. So click on clear browsing data, and let me just explain. Now I clean mine at least once a week, once a month, and you can see I've got quite a big browsing history there, but it's because I work on the internet on a full-time basis. You should then clear your browsing history, your download history, and if you choose to, you can also clear your cookies. Now what cookies is don't know why they call it cookies, but it writes a file within your browser from previous websites that you have visited. Now let's say on the Adassa website you've added a product to your cart, and then it will write the product that you've put in your cart actually inside one of these cookies. Now if you have a few products in there and you don't want to pay yet, but you're still busy adding product as you go along, and you've got 10 or 20 products in there, just bear in mind the moment that you clear your cookies, those products that you've added will disappear from your browser. Then you'll have to do everything again. But sometimes people or websites actually ask permissions to view certain things on their website. They keep a track record or a history of what you've done on their website, and all of that information lies within cookies. So it is a good thing to clear your cookies and site data from time to time. I don't do that right now. I don't want to do that right now because I'm very active on the website, and I actually use these cookies to my advantage when I'm building websites. Right. Cached images is something that you can also delete because it just takes up space. Then passwords, you don't want to clear your passwords. It's horrible if you try and log into a website and you can't remember what the password was. So keep that unticked. And then also there's autofill data or forms. I'll show you now how that works. I'm not going to untick that. Can site settings, you can tick if you choose to, and hosted app data. So you can just click on clear. I'm not going to clear my data right now because I'm actually using all of that to my advantage. But you'll clear that, and then you should have lesser problems when you visit certain websites. And the reason why you want to clear your browsing history is because, especially with your browsing history, it keeps old pages within your browser. So if you want to visit a page again, it just loads so much faster. But if the page has changed, then it gives a little bit of conflict from time to time, and then it's better to just clear your browsing history. All right, that's the one thing that is important. The next thing that you want to look at is autofill. Now, I've had quite a few people phoning me with the following problems. Sometimes they forget their password. Now, whenever you add a new password to a website, a little notification block will come up on the right hand side to ask you to save your password to your browser. And you can do that safely with Chrome once you've logged in as a with your Google account, and it will also pull through on different devices. All right, but let's look at Password Manager. If you ever forget a password, you're not sure what it is, you can go into your passwords. Now you can see I've got thousands of passwords saved here on mine, and it's because I work with just so many different websites at this time. But let's say you're looking for something, and at this point in time I want to use something that I'm not using, like 90-day masters. I can just type in their masters, for example, press enter in the search bar, and it will show me all the websites related to the word that I've searched. So this is an old website that doesn't exist anymore, so I can actually just delete this by removing the password, or I can actually view the password, and there we go. So if you ever miss a password, you can't remember what it is, once you've saved it, it will appear here, and you can always correct it there as well. Right, let's go back to autofill, where it creates problems. Payment methods. Let's click on payment methods. At this point in time, I've got 2 credit cards where the information is saved on my Google account. Now please bear in mind that the let's just click on that one quickly, open that up. Alright, there are the 2 credit cards. This one is incomplete because this is the one I'm using most of the time, and all it does is it gives you the option to autofill credit card details. That's your credit card number, expiry date, etc. But it will still ask you for a code that appears on the back of your card that you're going to have to enter so that nobody can steal this information. But on this page, you can actually, in this case, there's something wrong that I can fix, or you can just remove old cards. Right, it also shows you your subscription services. Well, I've got Showmax and YouTube Premium that I use. You can manage that from here, and your addresses. That, yeah, well, that's my address basically. Alright, let's just go back to the settings in Chrome. Alright, so that's where you'll find your credit card information if you want to change it or add new credit cards to your Google account. Right, let's click on autofill again, and then addresses or more. This is an important aspect. I've got mine unticked, and the reason I've got mine unticked is because it's a problem sometimes when you try and fill in forms on the website, because you might have saved your address here previously, and now you fill in a form, and then it will automatically fill in the form and put this address on the form itself. And for me it's annoying, but for some other people it's actually beneficial because they don't have to sit and retype everything all the time when they fill in their address, especially like on the Adassa website where you want to purchase stuff on a continuous basis. Now with the Adassa website, once you've placed an order, it will automatically keep the address within the website instead of your browser. But I've had people contacting me where they said that the order went to the wrong address, and the reason why that happened is because they didn't log in and use the information that's on the Adassa website, but this address that they have saved automatically filled in itself in on the form on the checkout page, and then they've placed the order, but they didn't look at the address and realized that it was autofill. So if it's annoying, this is where you can switch it on or off, and you can add addresses where you can actually choose which address it is that you want to regularly use on different forms across the entire internet. And that's basically the only thing that you really need to know about Chrome that does create problems from time to time. Alright,